business. And so you are bound to see what you are seeing today. And if they correct themselves, obviously, mind you, this is a party that is known in all grassroots. This is a party that's known in all Nigerians. It's not a new party. From 1999, the People's Democratic Party had been in power, and unfortunately, in 2015, they lost to the APC, and still retained certain good number of seats. Also, good presence in the National Assembly. We have a leadership that's not focused. We have a leadership that does not even know what to do. You have a leadership that does not even take any suggestions. And that's where we are. So if the leadership is committed and comes back to say, look, we have made a mistake. Why is it that things are happening this way now? What do we do to correct us? You see, it's not just to take over government. You have to position yourself. If the leadership is right, okay, look, by 2027, it's likely that we may not make it. But are we going to allow the party to die? Can't we start to build up? Let us take the right decision against 2031. It's all dependent on leadership. That's all I would say.
Okay, but let's get into it now then. You're sounding like you want unity and collaboration between leadership, but Seyi Makinde is accusing you of doing the opposite. So if we get into his media chat that happened not too long ago, he mentioned you by name and said in a meeting with the president that you were present and the president's chief of staff was present, that you said to the president that I will hold PDP for you. And then he said that he went with you to the veranda or the balcony and said, this is not what we planned, or this is not what was agreed to. And then he said that if you're free to support the president if you want to, but he is free not to. Now, is that factual? Because he said other people were there.
That's a blatant lie. And that's why, you see, Seyi Makinde has never called me Wike. Never. That's the first time I hear him say Wike. He has never called me Wike one day. It's unfortunate. First of all, you ask yourself, what was that meeting? What was the purpose of that meeting? That would have led me to say, Mr. President, I will hold PDP for you. Why did Seyi Makinde not come up all this while to tell the party, see what Wike is doing? I was in a meeting and see what Wike said. It's not correct. And let me put the record straight. There was no such meeting. Rather, my humble self, the former governor of Benue State, Otom, the former governor of Abia State, Ibazu, the former governor of Enugu State, Ugwaye, and Seyi Makinde, we went to see President.
That's the G5.
Yes, we went to see President to discuss, of course, elections were over, to discuss about certain things. While we were there, the Chief of Staff, of course, you should know that the Chief of Staff is always around the President. I was one who said, look, Chief of Staff, come and so that you can, remind the President of what we have discussed. There was nothing like a meeting. We booked to go and see Mr. President. So you couldn't, it is completely out of place for anybody to say that in that meeting, I said to Mr. President, I will hold PDP that for you. That's very unfair. Very, very unfair. Totally unfair. And you see, I have told everybody, frustration, if you can see it, to watch Seyi Makinde on that media chat, you can see frustration. And this is a young man we have advised severally. Politics is not like being a contractor with Shell. Politics is not like being a contractor with mobile. It has different rules. It has different. When did Seyi Makinde come into politics? When did he come into politics? And you see, there's nothing wrong in having ambition. But the ambition must be tailored according to the rules.
Ambition? What do you mean by ambition? Running for president or what?
He has not even had the guts to tell us that he wants to run for president. Let him say that he has told anybody. But we know we are not kids. You see, there are things you can do, and you think that people don't know. People do. They watch you. They follow what is going on. How did PDP enter this crisis? It is Seyi Makinde's ambition. How did we enter the crisis? He went and arranged with some people to make sure the National Secretary is ousted. He allowed people to go to the State High Court in Enugu. When you know that the State High Court has no jurisdiction over that matter, they got the judgment, no problem. Samaya went to the Court of Appeal. On appeal, Samaya won. We all agreed for the party to move on. Look, convention will be coming. Why not allow this to go on? We have only 1 year. So what are we pursuing? In the convention, you will make sure those who don't want them to come back will not come back. He refused and went to Supreme Court. When he got to Supreme Court, he lost. He still believed that no, Supreme Court said the party has no jurisdiction. Come on, what are you doing? Who appealed to Supreme Court? You and your colleague, you and your co-host appealed to Supreme Court and you lost. Until when they went to INEC, INEC told them, listen, as far as we are concerned, in our system, the secretary of the PDP is Senator Sam right? Now, Saraki will bear this witness. We have met the Saraki's guest house severally. Fintri, the governor of Adamawa, was there. Bala, the chairman of Governor Forum, was there. Saraki was there. There's nothing you have agreed to do that Makinde will not go and do a different thing. There's nothing. And this is why we are here today. Because, okay, look at even the convention, for example. The Board of Trustees set up a committee to say, look, what do we do? Committee headed by Wike Adamawa, former governor of Osun State, Oyinlola, former deputy governor and chief of staff to President Jonathan Ogedeme, Senator Zainab Kure, and 2 other people came up with a report. Look, let's not go for this convention. Let's set up caretaker committee. The same Sheyi, of course, you know Adolphus Wabara. He has no name. You know he has no name.
But you just mentioned his name.
He has no name. That does not mean that that's the name. They don't know what removing as the Senate president was just bribe of 15 million naira. Everybody is aware of that. He went. They now denied and said, oh, the committee was compromised. There are 2 judgments of the Federal High Court, Justice Omotosho and Justice Little. Substantive judgment, not orders. Seyi Makinde, what I said, frustration can make you do a lot of things that will cause damage. He went to Ibadan State High Court to obtain an ex parte order. State High Court to obtain an ex parte order for them to still go on with that convention. How could an ex parte order override substantive judgment of 2 courts? Of course, he had done his so-called convention. INEC was not there. INEC refused to recognize them. Then, in that same matter, INEC filed a preliminary objection to say that, look, court, you have no jurisdiction over us. Why would we be a party to this? And the court agreed and struck out INEC name. So there was nothing binding on INEC. The same person now had gone to the Federal High Court in Ibadan to recognize them. Recognize the convention we have done. A convention that Federal High Court has said you cannot go ahead and do. You have, after disobeying the court judgment, you've now filed at the Federal High Court now in Ibadan that, look, recognize us as the legitimate principal officers. That has not been settled. He has gone again to file at Federal High Court in Abuja against police until the secretary said we can use. Why not wait for the Federal High Court to say, okay, you are the legitimate principal officer? So the point I'm making is not, look at where PDP is today. Look at the crisis. Something that would have been easily solved. Listen to the voice of elders. Don't go ahead. Let's form caretaker committee. Today, PDP has no candidate in Ekiti State. Today, PDP has no candidate in Osun State. Now, when you say one party state, who is making us have a one-party state. If you have listened to people and allowed due process to take place, would the issue of one-party state arise? You are the one who is creating one-party state, and yet they are accusing the government of trying to have a one-party state. Just listen to what people have said and follow due process. By now, you wouldn't have been talking about one-party state. Now, having taken wrong steps that is destroying your party, you are now accusing the other party of wanting to have a one-party state. It doesn't make sense.
Excellency, if I may, before Rotus asked that question, leading to Mr. Seyi Makinde's question, chat, my colleague here, right in the middle, I call him BQ, I'm trying to remember his first name. Jide had raised the issue of the leadership, and you had said that if the leadership of the party doesn't listen, etc., etc., you had also spoken to something leading up to a convention, that you had told them, or there had been suggestions that whatever grounds they had against the national secretary of the party should be held up until they entered the convention. So it seemed like all was geared towards this convention, only for us to hear much later that no, there were suggestions that the convention be stepped down. Even you yourself had mentioned that, Mr. Samayan was going to be secretary of the party up until the convention. What made people change their minds about this convention? At what point did the party begin to say, no, we're not going to go ahead to a convention, yes, we're going to, organize a caretaker committee?
Because there are disagreements. People have gone to court to say, look, you can't go ahead with this convention. Why would you not go ahead with convention? So many states have not had their congresses. How will you deny states of participating in the national convention? You have 36 states. About 16 states have not had any congresses. And therefore, they are not eligible to vote in that convention. 16 states. And people went to court and said, no, you cannot do this. Let's follow due process. Take, for example, you want to do zoning. I'm a minister of the Federal Republic. We have senators from the South. What Seyi Makinde did was to call a few people and take them to Lagos and said that, that they have zoned the offices that came to the South. How would you do that? How will you disqualify very prominent members of the party? Is this ambition I'm talking about? Is this ambition? And people say, look, it is not going to be possible. If things are not done correctly, this is where it's going to lead us. And that was why they now formed this elders committee to look into the matter and bring us suggestions on the way forward.
Were all parties agreed to that elders committee?
Of course. In fact, when they came to me, I told them because of the respect I have for them. Ordinarily, I wouldn't want to participate because I have respect for them. Look at the old man who's the chairman of the committee, who's not like 80-something years. Look at the former governor of Osun. Look at Senator Zarab Ekure. And when I told them all this, look, the only way out, if not for selfish interests, let us agree, come together, form a committee so that we'll now take it from there. But if you are going ahead with this kind of convention, where 16 states form a committee so that we'll now take it from there. But if you are going ahead with this kind of convention, where 16 states will be denied the opportunity to participate, and where some people say, look, you went and took form without allowing people collecting forms to participate, that is leading to crisis. And that's why I say, look, the way you run your business is not the way you run a party. Party is a different thing. It's not about you have money, you're a billionaire. No. It's a different ball game. Yeah, but you have to be careful.
But there are other elders in the party. Yes. Someone like Senator, I beg your pardon. Yeah, he was a senator, George, of Lagos State. I'm trying to remember his.
Bode George
yes. of Lagos, yes. Who announced, who was at that convention and who announced your expulsion from the party?
So you see, that's why, again, people like Bode George have nothing to contribute to this party. Since 1999, Bode George was the Deputy National Chairman of PDP. Had PDP ever won in Lagos? Since 1999, you claim as a leader.
They've won seats in the House of Reps. Oh,
what is winning? We are talking about Lagos State. That you win one seat. For how many years? Since 1999 till now. The only thing is, oh, PDP is strong. You use the PDP strong based in River State. We will produce anything you want to produce based on another state. But in your own state, you are not able to win anything since 1999. So how can you allow such a person to begin to dictate to the party? You see, party means that what can you contribute? As I sit here, as a PDP member, and anybody who knows my position knows my position, we said, if you don't do this right, we will not support this. And we'll support the president. However, in the National Assembly, governorship, and state assembly, PDP won. That means we have something to contribute. You, every day you come out on national television to talk, because you have no job again. So when you say people like Bode George, he's an old man, yes, but was more relevant.
And he supported your agreement that, there must be, how do I put it now, that, the presidency must go to the South.
I have always canvassed that.
Yes, at that point, was he relevant to you or not?
No, it has nothing to do with supporting that the president must go to the South. It has, relevant is what you contribute from your state to give to the party. It's not that you said the presidency must go to the South. Okay, having said so, what will happen in your state? If the presidency goes to the South, then we'll fail in your state, or won't have anything of what is relevant, simply because you said presidency should go to the South. If you mean that presidency should go to it will mean that you have to work in your state for us to actualize it.
To deliver.
Okay, to deliver, if you cannot deliver, I mean, it doesn't make sense.
Okay, Your Excellency, there is now a 13-member caretaker committee led by Abdurrahman to manage the affairs of the party for the next 60 days.
Yes.
But under the constitution of your party,
yes,
sections 29 and 31 of the constitution of your party vests that power in the NEC. Under which authority was this particular caretaker committee set up?
That was NEC. Mind you, at the so-called Amala Convention that was held in Ibadan. Of course, people want to go and eat Amala. So that's why I call it Amala Convention. That had, remember, the chairman of the party then had already abdicated, right? Those of them who believed in that convention had already abdicated. Now, the national secretary, the legal advisor, the deputy national legal advisor, the organizing secretary, and all of them are still members who said our tenure will expire December 9th. I'm a member of NEC. So NEC met and said, look, we cannot allow a vacuum. There cannot be a vacuum. Because if I allow a vacuum and their tenure expires, who will not allow the affairs of the party?
Was there a quorum?
Of course. No, but has anybody come to challenge that there was no quorum? So, as it is today, in fact, we are even going to sue INEC. We are going to sue INEC. INEC has no choice but to don't expect that the bureau caretaker to run the affairs of the party. I remember that we have said we must obey court judgments. We must obey. Having obeyed the court judgment, who said there should be no convention, and the tenure was going to expire on the 9th, of course, it's natural that NEC had to sit and say, look, let us now appoint caretaker committee that will now run the affairs of the party till when the convention is now held. And the committee was set up, and they were told that it should take all steps to see that those states that have not had their congresses will go ahead and hold their congresses thereafter there will be a national convention. So, as it is today, the appropriate authority that can talk about PDP is the Caretaker committee. These are the people who came out for the Amala Convention. Of course, they've seen it. They are not recognized. And INEC has said it. But the mistake INEC is making is that to say, oh, there's no committee. We wrote to INEC that NEC is going to take place. We wrote to INEC. And intelligent decisions will be taken. And the decision was taken. And Caretaker committee was set up. And you cannot allow that. No, it's not done anywhere.
Okay, first, Honorable Minister, one of the most significant developments in that 2023 election cycle was the formation of the G5 governors in your party.
Yeah.
And Governor Makinde was a prominent member of that team. Now there's a political break in that your group. One of the things he said during his media chat, which trended, was that when he was when you were still in law school, he had already made $1 million. That also suggests that perhaps your political disagreement is now turning into something personal. So can you shed a bit of light on your political or personal relationship with Governor Makinde?
It's most unfortunate. I didn't come to talk about money. If he had $1 million, I thank God for that. And at least my sister is also enjoying that $1 million. If my sister enjoyed that $1 million, I'm also enjoying. But with due respect, that's why I say frustration. I ran for the presidential primary of PDP. I didn't say she used 1,000 naira in my primaries. I never saw it one day. 2, it's only in Nigeria I have seen where somebody was awarded a job of $1 million. He made profit of $1 million. And nobody's talking about it. I just saw him one day. He brought a document that he made, that it was given $1 million contract. And again, he made profit of $1 million. I pray to Almighty God that one day too, I will have a job of $10 billion and make profit of $10 billion.
That means you won't do the contract.
Well, that's what it has shown. That's what it has shown. But let us not be petty. I had my first degree early, before 1990, I had my first degree. Law was my second degree. That time he was talking about 1999. I was chairman of one of the most important local governments in this country. I've never been a contractor. He chose to be a contractor. I choose to have power, and I had the power. Remember, he was here doing contract with Shell. In fact, he comes. I didn't know he was going to marry my sister anyway. To say, oh, my vehicles have been impounded. Please help to release my vehicle. That is power. That's government. I was in government. He has to do the business according to the rules I've set in the LGA. So, what is whether you make $1 million? But you also forgot. The same man that had no $1 million, first of all, Sheyi, in 2007, ran under AMPP as senator. He lost. He lost. Sheyi in 2013-14, Munikat Adiola, former leader of the House of Reps, one Senator Jose, call him Alidoya, they all brought brought Sheyi to me to give him the structure of PDP in Oyo State. The man who had no $1 million, he had $1 million. But he came to the man who had no $1 million to help him to get structure. We said, no, we will not give you. We gave it to Taslim. He went to SDP to run as governor. He failed. He failed, which is $1 million. He failed. Now, it was before 2019, he came back. We said, okay, now, we are ready to give you structure. I was very grounded in politics. I was grounded, but I had no $1 million with me. But the man who made $1 million is going around looking for people who help him to have the structure. It's someone who gave him that structure that Cheyina became governor in 2019. Now, when you talk about G5, you see, G5 was formed on the basis that, look, we said the South, President Buhari hasn't had 8 years. It is natural that the presidency should go to the South. Of course, that's why I say, when you play game, sometimes it boomerangs. People like Atiku and the rest of them thought they were too smart. They now took the chairman of the party, led by one another crook. They call him Dr. Ayu. He knows he can't sue me. I've said it severally. This is not the first time.
Yeah, but for the fact that you're on national television, not just one channel.
No, but everybody
so
knows.
Many
I've said it in more than 20 televisions.
Yeah, but you can't call somebody.
No, but let him sue me. No, but he took bribe from Atiku in Lagos.
That's another one.
No, let him. He knows now. What is that? Look. We know ourselves. We know ourselves. I mean, for me to say this, he should know that he should have sued me to court up to now. He can't. But anyway.
Your Excellency,
no, let me finish.
Are you saying crooks know themselves? Is that what you're saying?
If you're a thief, don't you know yourself? A thief should know himself that he's a thief.
But are you a crook? Because you said he's a crook. You said he's a crook. We know ourselves.
No, the point I'm making, we are in the same party. We are politicians.
Okay.
We know ourselves. We know who is who. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Because people will think ourselves.
Those people who will think that are those who already have something in mind. You know, all I'm saying is that we're in the same party, we are the same politicians, we know who is who. So, we say, look, you cannot have chairman at the same time have the presidential candidate. Like Shay said, we had several meetings in London, where even when we agreed with Atiku, before he came back, they changed their mind. It's okay. If he does not resign and allow the South to produce a chairman, then there'll be a problem. Of course, you know that time, they had this belief that President Buhari was supporting them. So for them, everything you said, we have already won the election. We said, we are not going to support you. And we will not support you. And PDP failed. It's not that we're happy, but let there be justice. Let there be fairness in whatever we're doing. So, give that net. Let me tell you one thing that you should know. When we are dealing on this, Shei's problem was the issue that he was not giving ministerial slot. Even when he was saying, you can see the anger. You can see the anger. You don't need to tell anybody. We told him this. Calm down. We went to that. That's one of the issues why we went to see President. To say, look, sir. And President said, look, I'm the president of this country. Just take it easy. There are certain factors I may not have considered. However, something has to be done. Made that. But again, already he has made up his mind. So this issue of, in fact, I remember now, there was a time the Rivers Ijo had a reception for me in Port Harcourt here. So when autumn, that was just to bring you back, when autumn, the former governor of Benin, they went to speak. He said that, look, we are going to support president to do second term. Makinde, now, in Wednesday, replied on pages of newspaper that, why would you say such a thing? I called him. Even if he says so, you don't need to go and react. All you say, let's call it meeting. This can be debate. It's too early to have made it. For you to do this, you are showing as if there is a division amongst us. Like I said, frustration has come. And sometimes too. And you know, having made that $1 million early, he reacts. So, because when he looks back, he sees the letter of $1 million. He forgets that Dangote was not the first person who made $1 million. But today, he's the richest man in Africa. You know?
Could it be possible, sir, that all along, for a very long time at different instances, Governor Makinde had shown to other members of the G5 that his own political interest, his own political future was completely different from that of the members of the G5.
Noticing this, like I said, when we met in Lagos, George's Hotel. We've met in West Carlton, where I used to stay. We have met in his house. We said, look, you are the governor we have now. Whatever that is going to happen in the governor's forum and the caucus meeting, let us know, before we go for such meeting, we'll be able to know what to do. He never one day, and that's how we came to realize that he's behind removing Senator Samayan was to make sure he achieves the total control of the party. It was when we now saw that, look, this guy has a different thing in mind. And for us, I've asked him one day, if you are going to run for president, tell us. We are the ones here that are going to make it happen. I'm not going to run. Because it will be unfair for me to go and stand in an election against the person who has appointed me. I mean, at least I have conscience. Even though people were rumoring, oh, the council of Wike is going to run, you know, those kind of things. Now, and I'm telling this. I want the South to see me tell the president. But if you run now, how would you not think that you will do only one time? Will you go and negotiate with them that you will do one time? It's not going to work.
How would they trust you?
How would they trust you? Because you know, once you have the power, it's a different thing. So they will prefer for the president to even finish the 8 years than you to come and do 4 years, and then later, if they put it out, you want to do second, let us, this has to be planned well. You have to be careful. But like I said, money can make you not to see well. You know, the kind of money the governors have now, we never saw it. That's why most of them make mistake. They think everything is about money. When they look this way, look at what that has come. In all my life, as governor for 8 years, I have never received a refrigeration account throughout 1 year. I've never received 1 or 2 already. Never. The records are there. This one now, you see, don't you wonder, even states, when you thought that are now making budget of 1.something trillion. Why? Because the removal of subsidy by the president, who took a bold step, has now made money available to the states. And so most of them are blindfolded. And I tell people, money has its own limitation. Money has its own limitation. It's not everything. Yet people say money is everything. No. There are areas money can go. But goodwill can go. Goodwill can go. So it's not everything that you think money will work. No. And you know Nigeria, it is unfortunate. Now that Nigerians know so much money are in the States, so many Nigerians are very smart to say that they have their own share on the cake. Yes.
But
if I had the kind of money they have now.
You know the value is not the same thing, though.
What is value? What is value? I mean,
Reuters can tell you what the value is.
Excuse me. Let us not use this exchange rate and this. I don't care about that. What if I have today, whatever you may say, I have 500 billion naira in the state account, or I have 500 billion naira in FCT today, you will not believe what I will do with it. How much do I get in the FCT? I get 1% of the share that federal government gets. Take, for example, If federal government gets 1 trillion, 1% of 1 trillion is 10 billion naira. That is not enough to pay salary. What do? I go back. Our entirely generated revenue. So, but look at what has happened in Abuja. So it's not a matter of value. The people, that's the argument. People come up with, oh, you know, what's the exchange rate of this? That's all. Rubbish.
Honorable Minister, I know you are going to open a vista which will enable Hero to begin to take us in the line of silly deals, real estate and all of that. But before we get there, still on this Sheyi Makinde, we've had through one of your close confidants, although not a member of the G5, but somebody very close to you, former governor of Ekiti State, who actually said that the real reason you went to the villa for that G5 meeting was about Governor Sheyi Makinde, and it had to do with persuading the president to assist Oyo State over the bombings that took place at that time. Is that correct? And actually, that
Passion was not did not go with us. What we went to see President for, with all due respect, is look, Sheyi is getting too
confrontational?
Through confrontation, and I've said it's not necessary. Let's go and see President that don't need you challenge the President because he didn't get this. The other things you will get. And who President to be yes. The other things you will get. But, you know, like I said, because he has got to be spared. You know, one baffles me. Sheyi said that I told President I will hold PDP for you. Okay. Assuming, though not considering, assuming I said so, assuming. In Yoruba land, Sheyi knows that the president is a bomb. Is not correct?
Is an elder person.
I'm not a Yoruba person. I shouldn't. And that was such a meeting. Is that what you can come out in the public? I will say that somebody who is not for Yoruba is saying that, look, sir, I'm going to help you to hold PDP for you to win the election. I said, assuming, even though nothing like that. Me who said that, I've not gotten the kind of support Sheyi got from the presidency. I've not. I have not gotten one approval on grant. But Sheyi wrote to President. The same man he is talking about that did not give him minister project. Let's say you come and say, what I don't like in people is trying to say, show evidence. It's not the issue of show evidence. Sheyi Makinde, can you look up to God and say, you did not apply to President for a grant of 50 billion, which the President approved for you? Can you, in your conscience, say so? If I did not. Can you, in your conscience, say, you did not collect such money? You know, everything we like to politicize it. You said, I told President, I'm going to hold PDP for you. Me, that's holding PDP for President, I've not gotten any such grant. You, that you are angry. You have gotten such a... But the point is that, see, you can be helped through several ways. And one of such ways, the President looked at it, I will support you with this. And that's why you think that that's not enough for you. And so, it baffled me, I will not lie to you. Because if such a thing took place, I would have told you, yes. It never took place. Go and inquire from Autumn. In fact, they all called me when they had this thing. They said, what kind of rubbish is this? How can he say that I went for a meeting and then I said this? I can. In any case, who does not know my position as regards to Tribu's president? Do I need to tell him that? Nigerians have had me say severally, I'm going to support president. So how would I now go and tell him, President, don't worry, I will hold down PDP for you? It doesn't make sense.
Let me ask this question quickly before we go on our break. Is it such a bad thing for the president to give Seyi Makinde a ministerial slot. Remember, his supporters, the candidates of the PDP, lost the National Assembly elections because he was working for the president's candidacy. So people voted APC, top to bottom.
Okay.
So now what Seyi Makinde and his people are saying is that out of all of them, the G5 that came together, you are the one who has been benefiting tremendously from the president. Others have been fed nothing except the ambassadorial appointments that they gave a couple of them the other day. So is this such a bad thing for somebody, for the president to say, Seyi, you helped me, you delivered Oyo State gave more votes to the president than other states in the southwest. So is this such a bad thing to give him that ministry?
No. See, it is a bad fix. Let me tell you. When you say that PDP lost because he was working for president, why didn't PDP lose in Rivers State because he worked for president? Who took out the National Assembly seat? The president won. It's not the same election. That is not correct. Remember, the president also is a Yoruba man. There's also that sentiment that we have to vote for our own. It's there. It's there. So it's nothing to do with because you work for president. That's how you lost out in National Assembly. It's not correct. If that is the issue, then we would have also lost out in National Assembly here. Wait to the same election. We told our people, vote for president, National Assembly, don't vote for APC. And we achieved it. Now, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong in president giving you ministerial slot. But mind you, he's a president. There are things you don't know that he knows. If the president has called you and said, look, listen, there are other things. When he said me benefit, what did I benefit? The benefit is that the position that will come to Rivers State, take for example, Wike, National Population Commission, will it be given to anybody other than the Rivers people? That is the outlook. The position that will go to NBDC, Rivers State must be represented. Will it be given to, because you're a G5, you go and give it to somebody from Oyo? No. No. As a minister, I have a duty to also make sure those of them who were all together also benefit in other ways. It's not only appointment. Like I said, why did the president give such an approval if the president does not mean well for him?
But you benefited the Treasury single account, which...
What is my benefit of single account? Using my money that, as a president, look, if you want anything to improve in FCT, pull us out for a single treasury. What is the essence of single treasury account? We are not revenue collector for the federal government. So why should we be a single treasury account? So it's not personal to me. It's for FCT to move on. And they are seeing the benefit. So when you say I benefited, what did I benefit? It's the resident for me to do my job, which I'm doing today. If we are still in a single treasury account, it would have been difficult to carry out some, because at that time, we don't have, we can't go to bank to borrow. Because the bank will say, what is the collateral? The money will not go to them, it goes to central bank. But now, with putting out of single treasury account, we have access to go to the bank to solicit. We will deposit our IGR, collect social amount of money from our IGR every month. Give us this loan to be able to carry out our infrastructure. So that is the benefit. It has nothing to do with personal. No.
All right. We're going on a break shortly, but I'm sure
Rotus will... Yes.
Yeah.
So,
the business is talking about...
yes, we're still on Seyi Makinde.
Yeah.
So I want to clarify if Seyi Makinde, from your perspective, is someone who can be trusted, right? You've said he's lied about the meeting.
Yeah.
The $1 million seems like it's an exaggeration. You've mentioned the amount of money the states have made from IGF after the subsidies were removed, right? 2.4 trillion last year to 3.6 or 2.20 in 2024. All the states have benefited. Now, former governor of Ekiti State, Fayose, said that Makinde misappropriated those funds. The Oyo State chapter of the ADC has come out to say that they should account for the money. His aide in his cabinet came out to say that it was actually, I think, about 30 billion that had been disbursed, and so far they've disbursed from the government, and then they've disbursed about 4.5 or so. Can he be trusted on the use of these funds from the government?
I have no power. It is the people there. First of all, if such money, whether it is 1 billion naira, was given to you by Mr. President, approved by Mr. President, you owe a duty to tell your people, see what President has done for us, and I will appropriate it and make sure it is put in the budget for people to know we are getting this money from based on the promise Mr. President has made, right? But you see, it's unfortunate people didn't know. Now, because of this incident, people are like, "What? You collected so money," and then his aides say, "No, it's only 30 billion." Fine. Whether it's only 30 billion or 1 billion, did you tell all your state people that Mr. President, by his own magnanimity, approved this for you? So it now behoves on your people to say whether such a person can be trusted or not. Whether if I don't trust, am I going to vote? Yeah, no. But if you say politically, as we concern political relationship, I'll be afraid. And you know, one thing with me, I need to ask anybody. That's why it's difficult to have long-standing relationship with me. Why? I hate anything that has to do with distrust. I hate anything that has to do with, look, I'm doing something, and I say, look, me and Ben have agreed on this thing. And then I see the step when guys take it, which is not in tandem with what you have agreed. I have to be very careful with such a character. In fact, it wasn't the situation to even go and lie. It could have, if you have even said, we, and that's what we're discussing, that I said so. When I was okay, but to say that we had a meeting with the president, first of all, who are those in that meeting? He said, Chief of Staff, in Saturday. He didn't mention former governor of Abia. He didn't mention former governor of Benue. He didn't mention former governor of Enugu. What was the purpose of that meeting? Who called for the meeting? The president called you for the meeting. We went and said, look, we want to see president. And president said, okay, come to the house. We went to the house, as usual. And said, look, sir, we are still available. We still work together. So what is the issue of saying that we had a meeting and I, to start with, She cannot. He does not have what it takes to tell me that. He does not have it. He knows. He never called me wicked. In fact, that's why when I watch him, I say, wicked. He knows he does not have that. And to hell with it, he said $1 billion. Who knows? What's my business? $1 billion. Did he pay my school fees? Did he pay all your state people their school fees?
All right, Minister, we need to go on a quick break now. We know it's your in-law. He can choose to call you by your first name. Yes. If he wants to.
No, that is a disrespect. That's not my name. That's my father's name. Okay. He cannot do that. He has never done that. Okay. He doesn't have what it takes. All right. Forget that he's a governor. Okay. He gets more money than me FCT.
All right.
He said that he has not.
Shall we put on the lead? Shall we put the lead on it for now? Let's go on a quick break. When we come back, you've been issuing this threat of January. Politics will start in January, and it's as if everybody's running up and down. What is going to happen in January? When we come back from this break, that will be our starting point. We're on a break now.
In Port Harcourt, just before we went on break, Mr. Benga had already teased that we were going to be doing switching conversations or switching gears and talking about the talk you had about politics starting in January, especially as regards what has been happening back home here in Port Harcourt. One of the incidences that happened this year was the state of emergency declared in your home state, which you had said you were not happy about. But much later it was seen that peace was achieved. Some truth was gotten to. But in recent days, it appears that peace which was achieved is now shaking somewhat. And it appears that all is not well at home. So this is coming on against the backdrop of comments by the governor of the state, Nana Ifubara, that it seems that he's now been given the all clear to join the All Progressives Congress. Is this a part of the plan? Or is this something that has happened behind your back? Is this something that you are aware of? Because the comments that you have made in recent times suggest that you might not be happy with that particular development.
I cannot say that I have any right to stop somebody from associating with any party or whatever. And from what you've said, there's nothing left that anybody will say that why you still want to rebel the PDP because of the leadership tussle. The only thing I say is that somebody people think that when you say your mandate will stand, that gives you automatic ticket. And that's what I said though, that does not give anybody automatic ticket. You have to work, you have to earn the ticket for you to be able to represent your people. So many governors have left PDP. I have been accused, if you remember, so many governors have accused me that I'm working for Political APC to be able to destroy PDP. But the same people have also left PDP to go to APC. So they're not surprising that my governor had to go to APC. No, they're not surprising. It doesn't mean by clearance. I'm not the owner of APC. So it doesn't mean by clearance for him to say that. In that trap, you saw that assembly people left for APC. You saw that all the party council chairmen left for APC. I mean, it's natural that the governor will also have to leave for APC.
Yeah, but the comments you have made suggest that these are developments that you are not happy with. So, for instance, in recent times, you had a meeting with leaders from Obiakpo and other local governments around the Query, saying that we cannot be used and dumped. Agreement is agreement, and other such comments. And people are suggesting that this has to do with the defection of the governor. This also has, and you can correct us if we're wrong, does this have anything to do with your relationship with the president? Because there'll be questions as to who's using who and who's dumping who.
No, it has nothing to do with the president. That's all. Let me make that clear. It has nothing to do with the president. I have to go to Tor to thank people. Remember, if you are not in the States and you are away, the likelihood that people may want to be able to change their mind towards your leadership. And you find out again that despite the fact that you're away, people are still willing to be with you. And this period demands that look, go back to them and say thank you for standing with me all this period. And because to show gratitude is one thing that God loves so much. And if you show gratitude, the likelihood that you get more things. So what I said about that is that, look, and so many things were rich, and we believe that the other party, the assembly, and other parties have been able to, play their own part. And it's expected that the governor and some people should be able to play their own part. If that part is not being played, and then you think that the only way you can achieve it is by saying, okay, let me join the party where the president belongs to. No. What was saying, look, there was a truth. And certain things were agreed. And there's a need for you to fulfill those things, and the assembly should also be able to fulfill their own part. So that's what the point I'm making, not a question of using me and dumping me. No, that has nothing to do with that.
So as a follow-up to Mokwe's question, one of the contentious areas of the disagreement before the state of emergency was imposed was this issue of structures. And so this morning we saw on TV that the governor has sent emissaries to his local government to collapse the PDP structure there to APC. And so is structure likely to be a fresh point of disagreement between you and the governor?
I don't know about collapsing. The chairman of the council there is APC. And like I actually told you here, there are 22 local governments. Out of the 22 local governments, you have about 20 being APC and two being PDP. The likelihood that those two will join APC. And if they do that, it means that working together, they have to collapse whatever structure they have. First of all, when you say you are joining the party, demonstrate something you have to offer, right? Like some other states did. The governor is moving. You have assembly to move it. You have council chairman to move it. You have party chairman to move it. You have national assembly to move it. But in this case, these people have already left on their own, by their own volition. So assembly was one that took the first decision. Remember, when this assembly defected before, they did not defect. All they said, on your mandate we stand. That is not defection. Because all they said they were going to support Mr. President. And then the night came out to say, well, this time around, they supporting Mr. President, we have to join his party. And the same thing has happened to the other candidates of PDP who said, look, we're also defecting to APC. So it has nothing to do with the local government collapsing APC, PDP structure. For here in River State, I can tell you, we have always maintained that Mr. President will be supported. Whether you are PDP, whether you are APC, all of us have maintained that we have to support a president. This is not the first time. We did it in 2023. Even when we were PDP, we supported Mr. President. But the point I'm trying to make is that so many people are now thinking that the moment you shout on your mandate, it becomes that is automatic that you will have a ticket. I don't know. That does, supporting president has nothing to do with that. We are supporting president. Does not mean that we must have automatic tickets. We are supporting president based on certain factors, which we have seen several.
Let me just butt in here. The question people are asking is how much longer do you have left in the PDP with all the people around you, the local government chairman, literally all the local government chairmen in your state in the APC now, your governor too in the APC, federal lawmakers in the APC. So how much longer are you going to remain in the PDP?
Oh, the main fact that people have left and gone to APC does not mean I have to leave. No. It's not correct.
So are you a member of the PDP?
I'm a member of PDP. That's why I'm still there. That's why you still say he's not happy.
Even when all those around you, all your food soldiers are all in APC?
No, it's not correct. That you're a member of the assembly or a council chairman or a member of that assembly does not mean that I know other persons. It's not correct.
Okay, but that's what constitutes the structure in the real sense of...
Well, you may think so. But there are also structures in terms of party. There are also structures in terms of party.
So if you are working for the president and you are not a member of his party, and the governor is a member of his party and is working for the president, don't you think that at some point there may be clashes, particularly as to who decides what? When he defected, for instance, we saw the party's national machinery moved in his favor to receive him. It was registered with so much fanfare, giving membership 001, and he also declared and proclaimed himself the leader of the APC in River State. Where does that leave you?
Can I tell you something? When he said fanfare, he come to APC with who? He said, what is 001?
That's his membership.
Let me tell you, there's nothing like in the state 001. You register in your ward and your local government. It's in your ward. So if you are 001, it is in your ward. There's nothing like state registration called 001. There's nothing like as registered in the state as 001. Everybody registered in his own ward. You could be the first person to register by virtue of your position.
But operationally, operationally as a sitting governor,
Yes.
he becomes the leader of the party.
I don't know about that.
How would you not know that?
I don't know about that. Because if he says so, who is the leader of APC in the Lagos State?
The governor.
Your Excellency. Your Excellency.
So there are exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
There are exceptions to the rule.
And
Assuming it's a rule.
And the leader of NMPP in Kano is Kwankwaso.
So let's not go into all those kind of things. See, leadership is not because I'm a governor. Leadership is not because I'm a minister. You must have something that makes you a leader. Today, if I say I want to go to APC, that will be the end of even talking about it. I'm not going to. You will see other states. Join leaders in other states who are in PDP. We join. That's what they call a leader. I'm not a leader that's concentrated in the states. No. If today I say, look, gentlemen, we have had enough of PDP, we have to move. Watch those who the camp in Benue. Watch those who the camp in Plateau. Watch those who the camp in Abia. Watch those who the camp in Edo.
Before the governor's movement to the APC, was there any kind of conversation between the two of you? Were you in the know that that was going to happen? Because before that time, before that time, the governor had been in the public seen complaining or responding to people who accuse him of abandoning the peace pact. And that is that it was not him that ought to advance the peace pact, that the leader our leader ought to have called the meeting of everybody and all of that. That didn't happen, and he shouldn't be seen to be jumping the gun. And then days to when he was going to join the APC, he started commissioning projects, and there were things he started saying that those if you want to support Tinubu, don't follow no corner, and all of that.
I don't know who is supporting Tinubu and following corner.
Well, he was referring to you.
Wouldn't that be a direct reference?
How could that be when the whole Nigeria knows that I'm one supporter of Tinubu? What is Karakara? When I have stated openly that is what I will do. When the whole governors of PDP are accused me that I'm working for Tinubu, so how could that be a Konakona?
Yeah, but what happened to that?
No. If I'm doing Konakona, the assembly people will not go. The council chairman won't go. If they won't go. And let me tell you, I've always stated this, that why most people don't trust politicians is this issue that people don't keep to their words, and which is very wrong. And I don't want to be that politician. I want to be a politician that I have said something and go and sleep. This is what I've said. You don't need to think about it. Everybody knows that once I said this is what I would do, I would do it.
From all I can hear, clearly all is not well.
No, it's not well.
All is not well.
It's not about all is not well. All can never be well.
Why can't all be well?
No, in politics all can never be well.
But most things should be well in politics.
But that's why nobody's fighting.
Because it was alleged that there was a meeting, I think, that you brokered in Abuja. The governor was present and all of that. Look, and there were certain things that were to follow.
I have always said that what I don't like people who are economically with the truth. And I don't like that. The governor cannot say that I have not brokered a meeting between him, Speaker, and the leadership of the House. The governor cannot say that I have not brokered a meeting between the elders, which he was present in Chief Alabama South. It is, you see, that's why, you see, I don't like politicians who are economical with truth. There are things that shouldn't come to the National Commission to begin to talk about. It means that you are not matured. But that's why I said here, can Sheyi in his conscience say this and this and that? Can the governor in his conscience say, no, there was no meeting that was held between himself, Speaker, and the leader?
Yeah, and there was some conditions.
Would you say that they will never call a meeting of the Elders Council? See, look, I'm a politician. There are certain steps you take. There are certain things you should take that people will know that indeed you are serious about this. Take for example, nobody told me to go and visit the assembly. I have to look, I'm a politician. Assembly, I'm coming to visit you tomorrow. To say thank you for your support. I don't need anybody to tell me that. I don't need anybody to tell me I call National Assembly this festive period. Thank you. We all work together. I believe we continue to work together. Nobody will tell me as a politician. I call party chairman to say, look, if we have been here, giving us support all this while, I know we continue to work together. I don't need anybody to say I should do that. I don't need anybody. I don't need anybody to say, look, to call, look, how are you? This is, I wish Merry Christmas and prosperous New Year. I don't need anybody to tell me to do that. And these are things I talk about, whether you are serious. There are steps you take. So when somebody says, the governor, that I'm going to call a meeting, first of all, it behoves on you too. What role have you been playing? It's very laughable.
So this peace deal
take for example now. No, just take for example. What stops you to put a call through the speaker? Speaker, how are you? How you doing with the Christmas? I wish you prosperous new year. You need to be to call a meeting for you to wish them happy new year. Come on. And people like to, that's why I say it depends on what's in your mind. And people also believe that the moment you say you are working for Tinubu, it means that.
Also,
no. I have said, assuming PDP does not have crisis now, how many people would have left PDP? How many people were able to say whether they are PDP or not, I will support Tinubu? So the issue of saying, Korakara, who? This is the man who the whole Nigerians have known clearly. Ask, how many ministers have been abused the way I'm being abused? Why? Everybody knows my stand. Everybody knows my position. It's not hidden. So when people say, who's following Korakana? Who? When you know, you the journalist know, this is Wike's role, what he's been doing. He said he will support president, and he has supported president. I don't think, after, like I said before, after president are the most abused politician. Why are they abusing me? Why are they not happy?
So can I say, is it safe to say then that this truce that was achieved this year is now gone to the wind?
I don't know.
And if the governor said he is not going to represent the 2025 budget, because we understand that was also an issue. If he was not going to represent it because the sole administrator had already presented that budget to the National Assembly, and the National Assembly already passed a 2025 budget for Rivers State. If anybody is talking about the budget, it should be 2026. If the governor's argument is along that line, will it not be right?
That's why I'm saying that. See, when you say right, that's not right in politics.
Well,
politics is give and take. Let me tell you. You see, you must take such a stand when you know you're in control. You don't take a stand when you know you're not in control. You don't do that. Nobody does that in politics. Okay, take for example, I can tell you this. In 2025, the president was to go and present budget. In 2025 budget.
2026?
No, 2025. Okay. He got intelligence that there are some things moving on in National Assembly. He shifted it and called the leadership for discussion. And they discussed. And then he moved on to go and present the budget. You cannot say, I will do it. No. Nobody does that in politics. Nobody does that. You should know that, see, even if you have the control of the house, you must not take them for granted. Politics Look at the United States, the Congress. They move left, right, and center. But the president has to go and lobby, right? It's allowed. It's not there where you say, oh, I must do this. You must say that if you are the one who is totally in charge.
Okay, so just to follow
You
up.
don't do that in politics. It's give and take. So there are things that you do underground. Even me, as I'm preparing my 2026 budget, which I will send to Mr. President, and Mr. President will send to the National Assembly, I must talk with the House Committee. I must talk with the Senate Committee.
And now that
in charge of FCT.
You just mentioned the senator or the Senate Committee in charge of the FCT. What about the senator who was elected from the FCT?
Yeah.
Whose relationship with you has been a bit frosty, since she was elected.
That's again when I say I don't like people who play double standard. You see, politicians should be careful. Why? Okay, let me show you, as if I knew. The senator wrote me a letter.
Senator Ireti King?
Yes, wrote me a letter.
Recently?
Yes. Showing appreciation of what I'm doing in Abuja.
This is the Sheyumakinde's time. You are bringing out
no, let me tell you. Because I said, let me tell you. This has nothing to do with $1 million.
We insist on reading that letter so that we can be sure of what is inside.
Look at it. It was dated 14th November 2025. His Excellency, Aristotle Somezon, with the Honorable Minister City, appreciation for the rehabilitation of Kunene Street Road, Maitama. I write to express my appreciation to you and the Federal Capital Development Administration for the recent rehabilitation and fixing of the road in Kunene Street, Maitama. On behalf of my fellow residents, please accept my heartfelt thanks and that of the community for your dedication. Listen, for your dedication to service and your continuous efforts in ensuring that Abuja remains a model. Kindly be assured of my continued collaboration in advancing the development goals of the Federal Capital Territory. Sincerely, Senator Irete Hiba Kingibi. Thanking me for my dedication to making sure Abuja remains a model city.
It doesn't remove the
I'm coming to refer.
Yeah.
So if we have that kind of legacy you're talking about, what are we saying? The point is,
just a moment, Your Excellency. Are you saying then that you're collaborating with her, or that you're consulting with her?
The point is that it shouldn't be something personal. The only person I should talk about is the president, whom I'm owed a duty, where he is my appointer, who appointed me, right? Now, I relate with the committees. Overseeing the affairs of the FCT. And luckily, she's a member of that committee, right? So, in anything I'm doing as far as FCT concerned, I relate to that committee, which is a member. It's not something personal to say I must have a personal relationship. No. As long as I say we should not reduce governance to that level. The moment I have a relationship with the committee overseeing the affairs of the Senate, of the FCT, and you're a member of that committee, that is enough.
But you heard only recently, the senators were upset. They raised this issue of Abuja being filthy on the floor of the Senate. I'm sure you also heard her contributions as well.
No, that's not what happened. She raised a motion of national urgency. And by their rules, what is urgent here? You see, Nigerians, we should learn how to appreciate when people do things. You have commended me for making Abuja to be a model city. If that is correct, the mere fact that there are two areas that you think have not been done well does not generally mean that you are not doing well in Abuja. No. And I told people to learn this, that today Look at what Abuja used to be in the past 10 years. You see what it is today, which means that's appreciable improvement in terms of security, in terms of infrastructure, in terms of... When we came on board, you cannot without security, in terms of sanitation. It was bad. And I told you, we never gave us a job. It was given by the previous administration. And you know, the tenure has to expire before you go. And then you have to do a procurement. And it is not easy. And by now, you see that there's a change. Yes, before there was. Because we had to do new procurement for new people to take over the sanitation matter. And we must be patient. But if you cannot have a modern city which you have appreciated me, and then you now go back to say Abuja is filthy. Okay. I mean, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Okay. What makes a modern city?
Your Excellency.
If a city is dirty, it cannot be a modern city. If they're doing prostitution, it cannot be a modern city. If there's no security, it cannot be a modern city.
All right. Festus has the next question.
Yes.
Let's go back squarely to 2027 politics.
Yeah.
And you just said that politics will start, you will start politics fully in January.
Yes.
Most people think that what's going to happen in 2027 will be a rematch of 2023. But so much has changed between 2023 and now. Today, APC has well over 28 governors, and your party, at least your nominal party, is in legal coma. The party that appears to be rising is ADC. How much do you rate the chances of that party? Because we also understand that on January 1, Obi will be joining APC formally. ADC formally. And people have said that if the opposition had come together in 2023, they would have had a better chance of defeating the incumbents. So today, how do you rate the chances of what is now the left of the opposition against the president? Do you agree that it should be a rematch of 2023?
Now, let me tell you something. It's really unfortunate. I've said it clearly. And whether anybody wants to believe it or not. If there should be any opposition that will give fight to APC, it should have been PDP.
Yes.
I don't know where you are saying that ADC is rising. I don't know where they are rising. Mention the state where they are rising. Mention. You see, I don't like this newspaper politics. Every politics is local. As per the issue of presidency, we have agreed. But those who are supporting us, now look, it's likely that PDP cannot have that chance now to take over the presidency. That does not mean that PDP cannot win a state. That does not mean that PDP cannot win a state. You must you see, take for example, if I come to Rivers State now, for example, and I say I'm going to support PDP, for example, or PDP is going to give a gubernatorial. The tendency is that council chairman, House of Assembly will support that. It's leadership. I've always told you, when people have confidence in you, don't betray it. And that confidence, as far as I'm concerned, you cannot take it away as far as Rivers State is concerned. You cannot. You can't. You can't. You see, look at the local structure. Who are those who are council chairmen today? Who are the councillors today? So it is difficult, no matter the amount of money you have, for you to uproot that. It's going to be difficult. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's going to be very, very difficult. If our own team says we're going to support you for governorship, you go home and sleep. If we say we won't support you, you have to fight it hard. That's the point we are trying to make. So when I say politics general, let me tell you.
Yes.
Why I say so. Next year is a political year. Why is it a political year? Yeah. Primaries will take place in the various political parties. Yeah. So as a politician, you have to let everyone know, listen, we have to organize ourselves. We have to be ready to play this politics now. We are taking 2 years talking about infrastructure in Abuja. We are taking 2 years talking about security in Abuja. We are taking 2 years to talk how do we fix this sanitation. Listen, area councils will take place in Abuja in February, right? Do you think, as it is today, that PDP will win that election in the area council? With what the administration of the president has done, it will be difficult.
What of Labour?
It will be difficult. What about what?
Labour.
Yeah, that's what I've said. But see, for you to win, you must put your house, that it's not easy. And let us tell ourselves the simple truth. See what is happening in Abuja today. Under whose administration is that? It's under the administration of Ahmed Bola. And so people have that sympathy for him. It is not as if it is PDP. No. Look,
well, Abuja people don't like voting for the ruling party.
No, that's before. Because you have to show what you've done. You see, today, why would they vote for the ruling party? When you have not gone to the rural areas to do anything for them. When they have not seen anything in the city. Today, go to rural areas. See how the roads are springing up everywhere. Today in the FCT capital, see how the development is going. So why would you not say that, look, we won't vote for the ruling party?
But you know that there are parts of the elite that are not happy with what is happening in the FCT.
It's natural. It's natural. You cannot have where everybody is happy. I've already told you this.
So how are you measuring the fact that the president will win or that the area councils will go to the APC as a result of what is happening when you know that everybody might not necessarily be happy?
How do you measure
developments in the FCT?
How do you support candidates? You support candidates based on what your party have been able to do. Let people, whether you like Asuwaju as a person or not, shouldn't be, is what has he done to change FCT?
So for some people, it may be what has he done for the FCT? But for some people, it will be what has he done for me?
No. You cannot do everything for everybody. It's not possible. Even if he stays there for 20 years, it will be difficult.
But that's the correlation that politicians need to make.
No, please. No, that's not correct. Today, if I'm supporting area council chairman, I have a reason to say, vote for this person. Why would they vote for him? They vote for him because I can count. Gwagwalada, see what you have done. Buhari, see what you have done. Abadi, see what you have done. That is the truth. Except you have a personal thing.
No, Your Excellency, let me put it like
this.
No,
let me tell you.
You won't even let me land on the question.
No, you have said elite.
No.
Look, let me tell you, who are these elites?
Maybe not just the
Land and rent administration is a key area of concern in the Federal Capital Territory.
Yes.
There are feelings that land is being taken arbitrarily and partiality in land and rent administration. And Mope was talking about disaffection. This is potentially an explosive area of
that's why there are
disaffection.
certain decisions you take that will not be palatable to everybody. It has been like that. And when you take a decision that affects the elite, obviously, someone has come to make a change. And that change is affecting you.
Suppose they then make political gains out of that.
Oh, how many of them? How many?
Well,
Look. Take, for example, in the river park, I have no business. People should know what is the history. That is a land that was given under Obasanjo's administration to some Ghanaians who go under Jonathan something. Now they came and said, look, we needed partnership with some Nigerians who will be able to help for approval for development. That's how they had the issue of Polo Homes. Polo Homes does not have any agreement with the FCT. No. And unfortunately, that lease agreement had expired. And what we did, in order not to deny Nigerians of that property they got, it was okay. Look, Polo Home, you have no business with FCT. Jonathan something, not Jonathan as president, sorry, you understand what I'm saying? Jonathan. So now, the agreement you had with FCT had expired. But we must protect Nigerians or other people who already have gotten property. And what do? We give them direct CFO to protect them. Ordinarily, if we go by the rules, whatever you are doing with Polo Home will not stand. will not stand. Now, and I said, look, we will cancel the CFOs that the Polo Homes are giving and give to those Nigerians directly. They don't have their direct CFO, not under this with the Polo Homes. Well, by law, there's no relationship. But people don't want to hear the truth. People don't want to hear the truth. And we're saying nothing should go ahead again. And the man went to court. He went to court. Instead of him to wait the outcome of the court, he's using that to say, oh, let us be developing. Nobody does that. I signed the development control directive. Go and bring the whole thing down. You can't go to court and using court to now begin to develop when you don't have the order.
Your Excellency.
No. So people should know that it is difficult. The government did not do it yesterday. Does not mean the government will not do it today. So many things happen. So many things happen. And you know a lot of life complained. And now you see a government that is taking position to say, look, it can't continue this way. Yes, it will affect you. That's the sense of government. Look at the decision that the president took about the subsidy. It is a strong decision.
Exactly, which is where I was really going to. It's a strong decision,
but who is benefiting from it? It's enabled the states.
You've just said the state governors.
To have more money to provide infrastructure in the state.
Your Excellency, that's the problem. You see, because a lot of politicians always, or governors, or people with executive power, always assume that infrastructure is a thing. While infrastructure is important, the quality of life of Nigerians is even more important. Are they able to eat? Do they have access to health care? What sort of schools do their children go to?
Can I tell you something?
These are the things that affect Nigerians.
But let me tell you, when you say infrastructure, the quality of life. Infrastructure does not only mean doing roads. Infrastructure has to also talk about improving the health standards, improving the quality of schools. Yeah. Today, go and see what's happening in FCT. Is there any improvement in terms of the schools?
Yeah, but we can't say that across the states. That's the point.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying that each state has to give account. I am giving account in terms of FCT. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Unfortunately, it's a federal structure where the president cannot, as his school principal, begin to hold the cane and flog governors to come and account for extra monies they've gotten since subsidy was removed.
Look.
Is the people of those states that have those responsibilities?
That's what I'm saying. It is the people that will decide. But if you are saying in FCT, can they say that's improvement in terms of change of quality of life? See, one thing I've always told people, you can also say, for example, if you don't have a good road, that will affect your life. And negatively.
It certainly will, Your Excellency. Let me concede that to you.
First thing first.
It certainly will. But let me also say...
Let me finish. Let me finish. First thing first. Can you today go to work? How? Yes, because the roads have been opened up. Can you today say there's improvement in terms of our schools? Yes, they are renovating the schools. Can you today say, look, there's quality? What makes quality of school?
Exactly.
I'm coming. Infrastructure is only one of the factors. Not only having teachers. No. You can have good teachers without
a good learning
what's the quality of life of those teachers?
Learning environment. You cannot. You cannot affect. So you cannot say just when you determine to say, oh, you are not doing anything. You cannot say that the government of today is not doing anything in terms of improving the quality of education.
All right.
So wait, one second.
Honorable Minister, Rotus has something new to throw into the mix.
Just to follow up on that, safety is what I want to ask you about, just to follow up on safety. So the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council has its 2025 rankings of the states. The FCT is in the top 5. It's Lagos, Kaduna, Oyo, FCT, and Ogun State. But me talking to entrepreneurs that are there, they've talked about the roads, they've talked about the flyovers, the infrastructure, and they've commended your leadership of that. But they do talk about safety. You've seen what's been going on with the insecurity around the country and so on and so forth. So what are you doing to make things more safe for business owners and individuals?
And that is why we're making the environment to be enabled, to create an enabling environment for business to move on. That has to do that. You have to improve security. If you don't have good infrastructure, You cannot talk about doing business. You cannot. Let people not roll away. Our problem is that we think that these things have to be done at the same time. No. No. Take first that for government, for infrastructure, for business to improve, there must be good road network. It is very, very critical. It's one.
Okay.
Two, there must be enabling environment in terms of security. Have we improved the security in FCT? Would you say no? Would you say no? No, you can't say that.
But that's what he's saying. That's what the report says.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you said here in terms of ranking.
Yeah.
That Abuja has improved.
Yeah, but in terms of security.
That's what I'm
which
saying.
is a component of that report.
You cannot be ranked. And when there's no improvement in security, you cannot. You cannot.
What about health?
That's what I'm saying. Your most problem about health is that, one, you will have provided, first of all, you have to talk about infrastructure in terms of health. You have to talk about it. You have to. Are we doing anything in terms of improving infrastructure in health? Certainly, yes. Yes. But, you see, when you say, you cannot only take one issue for you not to say nothing is happening. It must be cumulative. For you to say Abuja is doing well in terms of business, why are they doing well in terms of business? Because certain parameters are used to judge. So it's not good when you sit down, you say, okay, this is not working. And therefore you conclude that nothing is going on in Abuja. I've told people, take things step by step. Yes. As it is today, go and see the contracts that have been awarded in terms of improving on the schools. Not less than 200 schools, as we speak now, is going on with renovation. If the schools, you don't have good infrastructure, if you don't have the best teachers, it will not work.
Yeah, but Your Excellency, we cannot remove the place of teachers, quality teachers,
that is
quality health
that
professionals.
That is the problem you people are having. You are saying that, first of all, take it that. Have they taken steps, first of all, to improve the quality of education? And what are those steps? Improving infrastructure in terms of schools. You cannot, I have always told people this, and that is the mistake in assessment. You don't just say, oh, you cannot say things are moving when the quality of teachers. No, no, no. First of all, you talk about quality of teachers in terms of the quality in terms of training. You cannot say, if you have good teachers and there are no good schools, it will not work.
Can I ask you, how would you measure?
Let's go. No. Because we want to have some, we need to have some quick takeaways. We have just about 5 minutes
left.
Just about 5 minutes. And we need to have some quick takeaways. One is on the issue of...
You are asking a question.
Okay, do you want to ask?
I thought it was my time.
Okay. All right.
We cannot deny that governors have so much money at their disposal now. I know a governor who takes on the average 77 billion naira a month, one of the South-South governors. What advice do you have for these governors at this time? I also know a governor who admitted that he has done in 2 years what he didn't do in 4 years. In fact, it's the Kwara governor that told me this. So some of them are doing something. But in what areas do you want to see improvement on their part so that people can feel the impact of this subsidy removal that has brought in some people?
That if the president has made it possible for you to have access to funding, what it means that you have to use such funding to improve the quality of life. How do you talk about the quality of life of citizens? You talk about good schools. You talk about good road network. You talk about improvement in health. You talk about agriculture.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it will be wrong for you to say that because all these ones have not been done, therefore nothing has happened. It's wrong. I've told people that you have 4 years in office. You've taken 2 years. You still have another 2 years, which means you still have opportunity to change things. So if I have said, look, we have done good roads, we have done renovation of schools, that means we are taking steps to improve the quality of life. Whether anybody likes it or not, when you talk about assessment, when somebody comes to Abuja, for example, what's the first thing that matters? They will say, look, Abuja is not changing. Why is it not changing? The roads are bad. When the roads are good, then they give the story as an indicator that, okay, now things are happening.
All right.
So I have told you that we have also taken in terms of health, that we have taken number of health that we are trying to renovate and put well and provide good quality of health infrastructure. It's important.
It's very important, but I want to bring things back to Rivers State. Your body language so far today, you said you cannot say on your mandate we can stand. That gives you, a ticket to join to another party. You said as a leader you have to not break agreements. You've also said that joining a party means what can you bring, what can you deliver. Does Governor Fubara have your support for a second term in Rivers State? Because it was you that delivered Rivers State for the president in the 2023 elections, and it seems it is you that has the control here. So can you let the Nigerians know that you are both on the same team and he has a second term?
That's what I've always said, that there are so many factors you have to take into consideration. Trust is very important. Even if you can provide good road network and you don't have that trust, people don't have that trust in you in terms of moving the state forward, it's a factor. It's a factor. Because in doing this, okay, take for example, if you can't work with legislature, how can you provide good road network? How can you provide good quality of schools? So it requires unity. It requires that I must work with the legislature.
Okay, so how you addressing that?
And that's why you have seen that at the national level, yes, the president knows it does not only him, cannot. He needs the National Assembly to pass the budget for him, to be able to access the funds to work. So if you don't do that, whatever you are thinking is wrong.
As the leader in Rivers State, in order for us not to be talking about Wike APC, Fubara APC, days after tomorrow, as the leader, what are you going to do differently to ensure that both of you work together, at least for the president? That's number one. Then two, the January, we heard from Grapevine that your talk about January is that you are embarking on local government tour. Is it a show of force? What is it really all about? Quickly, because we have just about a minute.
Now, I've told you here, first of all, that when I say I'm touring local government, the part of it is that, thank you for giving us support. We still need your support. But they will ask you, what have you done? As the federal minister, what have you done? So there must be a synergy.
Between you?
If there's no such synergy between the government at the state level, and the legislature, and the chairman of local government, it does not work.
So you are calling for that synergy?
I've already done that. And that's why I say,
are you going to work practically to achieve that?
Having synergy with legislature. Having synergy, and in truth, you don't just come out on national television, say, oh, I'm providing road. Who provide the funds for you? Is the legislature. Let's not deceive ourselves.
All right.
So you need is critical. Okay, if you don't work well with the legislator, if you don't, I cannot go to the legislator to provide or to have access to get you such funds. How will you change the life of the people? And people should tell you the truth.
All right, so Honorable Minister, no for question again. We just have to end it. Thank you so much. Let me just start from my colleagues. Babajide, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And Rutus, I hope it was a very good experience.
Yes, it was fantastic. Thank you.
And Festus as well.
Thank you very much for having me.
Good.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for having me.
Thank you for also coming to find out what we're doing in FCT and what is happening in
Rivers
State. Whether you like it or not, there must be synergy. There must be.
Yes.
And let nobody go home and deceive you.
All right.
You cannot do it alone. You require the support. You, as a governor, leadership entails that it is for you to know how to relate with the legislature to be able to move the state ahead.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. It's been nice having you.
Thank you very much.
All right, that's the last edition of Media Chat for the year. It's been a very wonderful year. We look forward to events of 2026 as they unfold. The minister has already promised that January is going to be the flag off. We'll see you then. My name is Benga Aruleva.
Thank you for staying tuned to Channels Television. You've been watching our live coverage of the media chat with the FCT Minister, Wike. This brings us to the end of the broadcast. Please stay tuned as we now return to our other programs for the day, including more live